Thank you for coming. We just got our hookup with Nashville, and I will introduce the folks that are meeting with us by teleconference tonight at another time. I'd like to welcome everybody. I'd like to introduce some special guests. All of you are special for being here. We appreciate your being here. But we have State Representative Bud Halsey, State Representative Chairman John Crawford. John, we're happy to have you here. We wish you had a chair for you, but we just got it. But again, thank you for coming. We'll start off by asking Commissioner Crawford to deliver the invocation. But before we do, Larry, if you would, I'd like to say a word about a member of our community that we lost this week. Some of you may know Fielding Ralston. Again, Fielding was a long-time Eastman executive who passed away on Sunday. Fielding probably touched the lives of everybody in this room at one time or other through his service to the state. Fielding was chairman of the state school board at one time, and he was always very active in the local community. So we want to send our condolences to his wife at 53 years, Joyce, his son, Clay, and his daughter, Tina, and their family. So if we could, Larry, we'll have a moment of silence and remembrance of Fielding, and then we'll do the invocation.
Will you bow for a moment of silence, please? Father God, we're grateful for your kindness and your mercy and your watch care over us. And as we have come to this time of the season that we know that there's difficulty in this selling of this issue of the schools, we pray your guidance as we go forward. Father, may we make the right decisions, not to serve us, not to serve others, but that our children and our teachers might be served in educating our students. Again, for Fielding Ralston, we say thank you for the opportunity we've had to work with him as well as know him and his family. Guide us now as we go forth in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Turn the street, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome Assistant Controller of the State of Tennessee, Jason Mumbauer, and Controller staff who is, I won't say Skyping yet, I don't know the proper word, but anyway, you can see it. And our Department of Education members from the Tennessee Department of Education, thank you all for being here. We hope you'll gain some understanding of Sullivan County tonight, and certainly we'll gain from you, and members will have questions for you. We will direct those to you, and you shall choose who you answer. Jason, are you in the room?
Yes, thank you.
Oh,
and thank you all for letting us be here with you in this way tonight. Now, first off, let me start out tonight, Mr. Mayor, by saying happy birthday to you. I can't imagine there's anywhere you'd rather be on your birthday night than where you are right now. And we're glad to be able to be there with you. Let me start out before I share a few thoughts with you. And what we're going to do, we have a room full of folks. We have several team members from the Office of the Comptroller of the Treasury and a few team members from the State Department of Education. The camera on this device I'm talking to you follows the person that is speaking, so we're all quickly going to go around the table to make sure you know who is here and introduce ourselves. We're going to start to my immediate left.
This is Jennifer Pfeiffer. I'm the Deputy Chief of Staff in the Comptroller's Office.
I'm Jim Arnett. I'm the Director of the Division of Local Government Audit.
My name is Brian Berkland, and I'm Assistant Director for the Division of Local Government Audit.
And I'm Ron Queen, Office of State and Local Finance in the Comptroller's Office.
My name is Drew Hartpool. I'm the CFO for the Department of Education.
My name is Mary Ann Dorsky, and I'm the Executive Director of the Office of Local Finance for Department of Education.
My name is Elizabeth Bybash. I'm the Assistant Commissioner for Policy and Legislation with the Department of Education.
I'm Christy Ballard. I'm the General Counsel for the Department of Education.
My name is Sheila Reed, and I'm the Assistant Director with the Office of State and Local Finance.
My name is Sandy Thompson. I'm the Director of the Office of State and Local Finance in the Comptroller's Office.
And I'm John Dunn, the Director of Communications for the Comptroller's Office.
And then back to me, the Deputy Comptroller of the Treasury, Jason Monkhour, and tonight, most significantly, a resident of Sullivan County. Now, it is great for us to be able to be with you in this way. I wish we could be there in person. We looked for an opportunity to get there tonight, but couldn't get there in person, so we're really delighted and appreciative of being able to join you electronically like this. You know, at the same time, for me in particular, it's a little bit embarrassing that we have to be here with you in this way. Because what we have going on in Sullivan County right now is a good old-fashioned Sullivan standoff. And what we hope can be achieved before you leave the room tonight. And I hope there are some members of the Board of Education there, and perhaps our new Director of Schools is there with you. Well, what we need tonight before you leave is to take this Sullivan standoff and turn it into a Sullivan stand down. Because that's what the taxpayers and the students of Sullivan County deserve the most. You know, I know most, if not all, each and every one of you who are county commissioners, and of course I know each and every one of our Sullivan County School Board members. And the thing that I know about you is that you ran for office for the right reasons, and you are looking out for the best of Sullivan County, and that by coming together, you can solve the problems that are in front of us. You know, the time for scary emails and tough tweets is past. The time for action is upon us. It's going to take courage. It's going to take guts. And most of all, it's going to take your willingness to set aside hard feelings that may exist between some of you who are on the county commission and some of you who are on the school board. But I know you, and I know that's what you're about, and I know that's what's in your heart. And you know, what we're here tonight, those of us who are staying late after work here in Nashville, what we're here for is to provide you factual information about what is in front of you from a budgetary standpoint. We're here to the best of our ability to answer budget questions for you. But when we're done with that, the hard decisions are going to be up to you. And again, what we want to do more than anything is urge you to do what must be done. The deadline has already been passed, and we've helped buy you some time here to get this thing done. You have a very limited amount of time left before BEP payments have to be withheld. So I am calling on you especially, not only as my role in the Office of the Comptroller of the Treasury, but as a Sullivan Countyan. I know you, we're all friends. Let's come together and get it done for Sullivan County. Again, let's turn this Sullivan standoff into a Sullivan stand down and do what we can to move things forward. With that, we're glad to be here with you tonight. We'll be glad to field questions the best we can as you proceed through your meeting, and we look forward to helping you all we can.
Jason, if I may say Jason and not use your official title.
Yes, that's great.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for assembling the group in Nashville. They've been a lot of help as we've gone on this trail. I know the school department and the county commission and certainly the administration here. And looking out at this crowd we have of over 100 people, I try to find faces, so I wasn't able to at the start, but I do want to recognize our Director of Schools, Dr. David Cox, and he may be back there somewhere. He told me he was coming. Dr. Cox, thank you. Members of the school board, would you either stand or wave, please? Pleased to have you with us. Thank you for coming tonight. This is a very important meeting, and your dedication to this county and service in the school board is significant, and we want to acknowledge that. I would like to set the plate a bit, Jason, if I could, for your group and for the county commission. A special call meeting can be called for many reasons, and we have limited this to the Sullivan County funding through the Sullivan County budget. That's all we'll be able to discuss here tonight, and how the mechanism that we use to fund Sullivan County government overall. So that's what our purpose is here tonight. We've gone through the numbers before. We're all pretty familiar with the numbers. I think everybody's done a pretty good job of staking out where they are, what their position is, what numbers they're working with. So what I've asked the county commission to do tonight is consider how we might solve this impasse. And we have one resolution on our agenda, and we will handle that, have questions from our members. But before we do that, we will have public comment. We have 30 minutes devoted to public comment, and generally ask our guests to limit that comment to 3 minutes each. In the past, we've always been very liberal with that, and somebody makes a point, I hesitate to interrupt them because we want them to have their say. But tonight, with the crowd that's here, we have a sign-up sheet. We have a sign-up sheet back there, and I want to give you a chance to come up and sign up to speak in public comment section if you'd like. And so, as we get into the resolution part of our agenda, we will recognize sponsors for explanation. We will recognize the staff that sponsor our members might have questions for. Before we do that, we need to have roll call and record your smiling faces here tonight for the county commission. So, if you will, Madam Clerk, would you take the roll? Has everyone checked in? It appears that we have everyone checked in this year. Madam Clerk, take the roll.
21 present, 3 absent.
Thank you. Now, the next item on our agenda is public comment. We will recess briefly for public comment. If you've had a chance to sign up on the sheet on the podium, if you haven't had a chance to sign up, let me say that if we have additional time left over at the end of those who have signed up, we will ask for anybody, any comment from anybody else. Mr. Crawford, you bring the list up. Thank you, Commissioner Cross. So we are in recess. First name on the list is Rodney Patchett. When you get to the podium, would you state your name and your address just for our electronic record? And as I mentioned, please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Save time for your name. Rodney?
My name is Rodney Padgett. I live at 1125 Galton Shoal Road, London, Tennessee. Since we're kind of limited on time, I'll try to get to the point. I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about why we're here, though. Part of that is budget issues. Part of that is personality issues. But ultimately, what it comes down to is page 42 of the budget. The school asked for revenue of $800,000 in line item 44-120. When it comes time for the appropriation in the General Fund 101 on page 31, that was the same request they made last year, by the way. On page 31, General Fund 101, that line item was dropped from $1.1 million to $300,000, which is different from last year. And I forget the line item number exactly. I know it's on page 31. Anyways, that's why we're here. The school says that $800,000, which I know in the thing you guys have right there, the proposal, it says historically that it had been $300,000. Well, that is true before 2017, but after 2017, the year that they took $2.7 million in renovation funds from the city, that money was $800,000 of that money was plugged into revenue for the county system to meet maintenance of effort. And the disagreement falls right there. Is it maintenance of effort or is it not? The school says yes, the county commission says no. So that's kind of why we're here. The way that we're trying to make up for that $800,000, the county commission is saying, well, the school's over projecting their loss of enrollment or attendance, when they say 2%, and it's historically been 1% or less, and for the most part, that is true. However, usually this is happening earlier in the year when it's all just a numbers game and we don't know. Now, the school's saying, well, we're a month into the school year, so we have kind of an idea of our drop, and we're projecting it to be between 2 and 3%. So even with the 1% buffer that resolution is offering, there's still a chance the school will be out in reserves. Plus, if you pass that $800,000 is going every year from here on out to the school. So it really is important to figure out, is it maintenance of effort or not? Number two is that 1%, if the school drops it down to 1%, and is that going to be what's considered used every year from here on out? If it is, every year that we have a drop in enrollment, that 1% takes less. So 10 years ago, it would have been 100 kids, 1% enrollment. Now it's 92. 5 years from now, maybe 85. So that 1% becomes tighter and tighter and tighter. So that needs to be a little tighter around us. So I'd like to just kind of point that out. What we are not here to talk about today, which would be an unpopular statement, is West Ridge High School, because that is a completely different pot of money, although that will be a lot of the conversation, I think, today. That is bond money that has nothing to do with operational, has nothing to do with maintenance of effort. We're also really not here to talk about reserves, which there have been claims of $18 million. Okay, well, I'll go here. I'd like for it to stay on the operational thing, but 2 points. Number one is the county commission has hurt their own argument a little bit, and 2 months ago they voted 12-11 to take $2.5 million from the county school system, from the budget, which they know would have ended in a lawsuit to close schools. We would have been right here at the same spot if that had passed. They needed 13 votes. I would ask the state officials that are here, one thing is, I don't want Sullivan County to be the jumping point for an anti-county education campaign. I don't want it to be a jumping point for an anti-MOE campaign, because if MOE had not been there,
I don't want to be rude.
if it had not been there, I'll take 1 second more. If it had not been there, we would have been down $2.5 million, no doubt. So it does keep county governments from skimming it off the top. So I'll leave it there. I appreciate the time. Sorry.
Thank you. Next on the list. And let me advise our national guests, if I haven't said that, it appears that we only have 5 on public comment. We may have more, but to give you some idea, I know you're on time frame. Sir, if you'll introduce yourself.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, my name is Harry W. Haynes III at 252 Alabama Street in Kingsport. While I cannot address any specific Sullivan County school budget items at this meeting, I would like to make a brief comment about a number in general. If declining enrollment is a historic trend, then why has the Sullivan County Schools employee to student ratio increased from 1 employee for every 6.5 students to 1 employee for every 6 students? How can you say that you are spread too thinly to provide the support schools need? This is the frustration a lot of us feel concerning the Sullivan County Board of Education. I trust that the county commissioners can work through this issue with a solution that does not involve yet another tax increase. Thank you for coming together tonight at this special call meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Haynes. Thank you, Mr. Haynes. Next person on the list is Mr. Payne. Dan? Welcome.
Thank you, sir. My name's Dan Page. I live at 609 Whispering Way in Kingsport, Tennessee. I'm going to talk about what we're here for is the vote on whether or not to increase the BOE money. I think that's pretty evident that you have to because of the state requirements, or we're not going to get any money. The BOE has successfully stonewalled you into a corner where you have no choice but to do it. They've created numbers that they want to create. They've scared tactics, worried about teachers losing their jobs, not being able to keep their houses after, if money goes away. But they do all this with, in their own words, a $10 million surplus. And that's the whole heart of this budget map. The BOE is stealing from our children. They're only supposed to keep a 3% budget allowance for a rainy day fund. Well, $10 million is a little bit more than 3%, and that's their numbers. I believe the mayor's numbers are more accurate, close to 7.4 million. Now, they could have run till December without any help from the state over this. And I'm so glad that we have state officials here today, even through our networks or live, because our BOE needs to be investigated. We have schools that are not air conditioned, they've not been fixed. We have students having to share books, not able to take them home. We have teachers in this area, the lowest paid, and we've got 17 million by one number, or 10 million by another number, sitting in the bank. And after this, they'll have more. Now, why are they not spending this on our children? I have an idea of what it is, but this isn't part of this discussion. And you go ahead and vote on this. I will support you all the way and go ahead and do whatever the state requires us. But after that, you need to be going after why they have $17 million in their surplus on an $86 million budget. Now that money's not come in 1 year, but it's coming through. And you need to understand why they're doing this and not spending it on what their jobs are. Because that, in my opinion, that's a dereliction of duty. People get fired over that in private office. And we really need to have the state look into this more than anybody. I appreciate your time, and I hope the state does get involved in this, and I would love to see that they do. Have a good evening. Thank you very much.
I appreciate your enthusiasm for folks, but let's hold applause maybe the last. Next person up is Mr. Horton. Jason. Mr. Horton, thank you. If you will give your name and address when you get to the podium, we'll appreciate that. You have 3 minutes.
616 Gotland Shoals, Bluntville, Tennessee. You know, I'll probably hit on a few items that several others have hit on. Our decline in enrollment in schools. You hear about the fighting of $800,000. I was sitting in Gate City, Virginia yesterday, counting Tennessee tags. I sit there pretty much watch $756,000 roll through the parking lot. And that's a school and a half. I'd like to see these board members fight for our kids like they do for this money that they want to get all the time. They want to get it for free, but they want to let every other district teach our kids while they get it and put it in the bank. I mean, I want each and every one of them to go to into Lucy Road and see how many kids get picked up by a bus going to Scott County. Go down to Yuma, see how many kids are going down there. I was told by parents in the parking lot that 88% of Tennessee tags is at Weber City because they offer pre-K and a Head Start. You could almost look at these people and you could look at them as refugees. They have no representation and they haven't had it for years. They have their homes, their schools ripped from them. They've had what, 6, 7 schools took from them? They've left because nobody ever fought for them. The city of Kingsport's done their part to rip their part of the schools out, and then the BOEs took their part of it out. That's why we don't have people at North. You took it all away. Somebody on these elected officials. And then you look at the surplus. How many times have our teachers got pay raises? I say we've got a house full of them here, don't we? From what I've seen, there are 88 in the state. Kingsport is number 1, and I think 13 is Bristol. I've had these 2 teachers right here is to all 3 of my kids. And they deserve every bit of it because they have made bright and shining stars out of them. They deserve to be paid as good as Kingsport has, because I put them up against Kingsport's teachers any day of the week. And then you wonder, how much do they spend out of their pocket at the first of the school year? $100, $200 painting the rooms? buying those extra supplies because we got parents that can't do it. But the Board of Education dangles $60 extra a month. That is embarrassing. $10 million to $17 million. And if I was the people on the Board of Education that let my people go to other school districts, and I let my teachers, and I dangled $60 in front of them, I would walk out with my head between my tail. That's how that is. It is pointless. But I mean, it's just realistically, it's a shame. Yeah, I know I can stir the pot a lot, but you know what? I'm doing it for a reason. But I've got 7 years left in this school system. One's already graduated last year. I've got seven left for 2.
Wrap it up.
And I'm going to expect they get the very best of what we can give them. And one on the side note, this whole Patriot Park that we bought up there at the East New Middle School with the 15-acre parcel, who's going to pay us back for that $426,000 that we spent on that property and it can't be used? That's classroom dollars, that's a pay raise, whatever we could want for it in the school system.
You should wrap it up, Mr. Roberts.
I'm done. Have a good night.
Thank you. Teddy Adler. Thank you. Come, introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Dr. Teddy Adler. I live at 605 Blue Spring Way, Kingsport, Tennessee. I'm a second grade teacher at Rock Springs Elementary, and I'm probably what most of you would call a veteran teacher. I've been here for quite some time. I'm a little confused about what we're doing here tonight. I heard that the blame is on the commission, and then I heard, no, it's on the Board of Education. What I've heard is there seems to be a problem on the base amount of money that the Board of Education keeps in their, what I call, emergency fund. Now, my husband and I, we keep an emergency fund just in case the washing machine tears up or the car stops running. Now, we don't keep enough money in our emergency fund to buy a Lamborghini or a Ferrari if our car were to tear up. And now, my husband would love it if it did. And those are the things that I heard. Now I'm going to tell you what I know. I know that it's October, and teachers have not received an increase in their pay. In fact, our last paycheck was reduced. I do know that people on the commission have told me that they want improvements for teachers, and I thank you. I do know that the same thing is being said by the Board of Education. I do know that there seems to be concern over the building of the new school. And I'm pretty sure that if the construction is in place now on our school, that I don't think anybody's going to decide to discontinue that construction and waste all that money invested in that school. Now, I have a question. I would like everybody to ponder this for just a minute. If you were building a new house, would you want to buy the cheapest material to complete that house or decorate the inside? Now, think about it. Or would you want to do your very best to make it a showplace that you would be proud for people to see? If you continue to pay our teachers and our employees the bare minimum, can you be proud of what we are filling our schools with? It's time to express what we all think. Let me say that. We all think of our school system and our employees and what it's worth in Sullivan County. All of us. Mr. Mumpower said it's time to stand down, but I have to disagree with that. I think it's time for all of us, the commission, the board, everybody in Sullivan County to stand up. It's our school system. Stand up and let us be proud of this. Let's push to have a school system that we can all be proud of.
That completes our list of people who had signed up requesting, and as is traditional, I will ask if anyone who didn't sign up would like to address the commission on an issue here tonight. We have one person coming forward, so, sir, if you'll introduce yourself, and give us your address.
I'm Mason Mosier, I'm from Honey Flats. Thank you, commissioners, for the opportunity to speak tonight. I first want to say that we're really grateful that Venable made it out of surgery, okay? And are glad you're back. A lot of things have changed since the last time I spoke before this body, and the largest of these things was maintenance of effort. It seemed to be the consensus among many commissioners in the body that underfunding maintenance of effort was not just immoral, but also illegal. I have spoken with countless representatives on this subject, and there is solidarity behind the fact that this move would be extremely questionable in a court of law, if not downright illegal. The decision to cut the amount of money proposed from Sullivan County schools is a regressive one. It will send Sullivan County's children, teachers, and the county itself backward instead of forward. This will be a legal issue that consumes the county for years to come and millions of dollars later. And even if this body believes it's right to cut millions of dollars from our school system, why spend just as much money and effort fighting the state with no reward than giving the school system the amount it has asked for with reward? This is the real decision being made tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. As I look around the room, I don't see anybody seeking recognition, so I will declare the public hearing open, and we will go back into regular session with the Sullivan County Commission. Being a special call meeting, all of you have one resolution on your desk. There may be more before the meeting's over. So at this time, the chair would entertain a motion so that we may act tonight to suspend the rules. Commissioner Locke and Commissioner Gardner second to suspend the rules for the immediate introduction and adoption of resolutions that are before this meeting tonight. Having suspended our local rules for that, any resolution that comes before us will require 13 votes for passage instead of 16. So we're ready to hear the first resolution. The one on your desk does not have sponsors on it. I have had Commissioners Vance and Commissioner King asked to be co-sponsors of that, and we will allow them to be co-prime sponsors. Commissioner Stanley and Commissioner Locke have asked to be co-sponsors. I will entertain a motion later after we've had debate. Anybody that wants to vote in the affirmative and sponsor, be listed as co-sponsor. So, Commissioner Red, I'll recognize you first, then Mr. King to explain item number one on today's agenda. Commissioner Vance.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to read this resolution in full. The resolution is to fund the Sullivan County School Department based on the weighted full-time equivalent average daily attendance, and I will refer to as ADA going forward. Whereas the Sullivan County School Department's fiscal year 2019 and 2020 has a projected of 2% reduction in local revenues due to potential county shared loss of the ADA, average daily attendance. And whereas Sullivan County's budget approved by the Board of Sullivan County Commissioners provides for a 2% reduction in local revenues based upon historical loss in local revenues for average daily attendance. And whereas both bodies are most supportive of the continuing educational program for the students of Sullivan County schools, and whereas to set a reasonable avenue to maintain a current program, common ground settlements needs to be reached, and whereas the Board of Commissioners is willing to appropriate additional funds to maintain the maintenance of effort. Now therefore it be resolved that the Board of County Commissioners of Sullivan County assembled in a call session hereby authorizes adding a provision of the 2019-2000 appropriating resolution based upon the ADA, average daily attendance, figures received from the state of Tennessee based on the following terms. Be it further resolved that historically and currently the amount of $300,000 is appropriated to to the recreational reimbursement account and paid to the general purpose school fund for the use of facilities to support community activities. Now therefore be resolved, if the ADA decline exceeds the 1% for the 2020 school year, the Sullivan County Commission will compensate the Sullivan County School Department a prorated amount based on the ADA figures up to the amount of $800,000 in addition to the $300,000 mentioned above, which that's currently in the budget. Said additional funds will be appropriated to the recreational reimbursement account. However, in the event the ADA adjustment remains at 1% or less, the current appropriation of $300,000 will stand as sufficient and will meet the maintenance of effort as required by the state of Tennessee. This resolution shall take effect from and after passages, and all resolutions in conflict herein with B may be same rescinded insofar as such conflict exists.
Thank you, Mr. Vance. Mr. King, to add to Mr. Vance renews his motion for adoption. Mr. King, we'll have questions after Mr. King, Joe, if that's, go ahead. You're recognized, Mr. King.
Okay, you know, as Mark read this, I think it's pretty simple what this does. I mean, if anybody's been keeping, any of the commissioners here have been keeping up with this, it's pretty simple. And I think it's gonna be fair for for us and the school department both. Because what it's doing, it's not biased, it's what the state is going to send back to us, how much we owe, and if we owe money, we're going to pay it. If we don't owe money, we're not going to pay it. So, to me, I don't know how more fair you could be with what we're doing here, because we're not relying on this body, we're relying on the state to give us those figures. And it bothers me a little bit that the state hadn't stepped up and let us know beforehand, before we got to this point, why we didn't get this where we were in the right or where we were in the wrong, and then we wouldn't be here. But that's beside the point. We've got a resolution here that I think is good. I think we need to go ahead and pass it and move forward. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. King. Question, Commissioner Herron, you may direct questions to the sponsors, or Mr. Bailey, or Leslie, you know, Mr. Bailey will answer your question. So
this is just for the record. The second line from the top where it says commissioners meeting in regular session this second day, I think that needs to reflect call session for the record, so it'll go down right.
We'll make that typographical correction, Joe. Thank you for calling that to our attention. Do we have other questions for the sponsors or Mr. Bailey regarding the application of this resolution to resolve the issue? Mr. Brogan, you're recognized.
I'd just like to have the state weigh in on it, and if they're good with this, I say we go ahead and vote on it. If the state says we can do it.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, and we're sitting here in the room, and I think that we actually, first off, let me say, greatly appreciate the sentiment with which it comes forth, and think that indeed it reflects a very valuable opportunity for you. I do think in order to achieve the goal, we have some revised language for the final paragraph of this resolution that we can email up right now that we think would better achieve your goal from the standpoint of the Department of Education. If you'd like me to, I can email that up right now to the mayor's account, and then I can read it to you, what we might propose that you consider. Okay, the email has been sent. What I might suggest for the final paragraph of that resolution, which we believe would accomplish the same goal that is articulated, but perhaps in slightly different language. It would read, now therefore, the Sullivan County Commission appropriates an amount of $800,000 to the recreational reimbursement account in addition to the $300,000 appropriated to the recreational reimbursement account for the Sullivan County School Department. The amount of this additional appropriation is contingent upon the ADA declining more than 1% for the 2020 school year. If the property tax and local option sales tax collections exceed the Sullivan County School Department's revenue forecast that is based on the ADA decline exceeding 1% for the 2020 school year, the $800,000 appropriation will be reduced by the amount of revenue exceeding the revenue forecast, but in no case will the appropriation be reduced below the amount necessary to meet the maintenance of effort as required by the state of Tennessee. Again, that language has been emailed to Mayor Venable's email account in the last few minutes, and we believe that it carries the same sentiment expressed in the resolution on your desk and accomplishes that same goal. And it is something that, you know, while we can't, until we see the paperwork handed in, we can't say anything is locked in, but we all believe that this would be something viable for you if you choose to adopt it and if the Sullivan County School Board goes along with it.
Thank you, Mr. Montgomery. We appreciate the suggestion, and I do have the email here, but I think it ought to be spread on the desk of every member, and particularly sponsors. So at the risk of using up some of your time, Jason, I would like to have my assistant spread this suggestion on the desk. And,
sure, I think that's very wise, and if your assistant can print that out and spread it, I think it'd be a great idea.
We'll do that, and I believe Angela is in the office now copying this. We will take a 10-minute break if you will stay at your desk, and we will distribute this and let the sponsors discuss it. And thank you for this suggestion. I think this can move us forward just on first glance. So we will recess for 10 minutes till we can get it spread on the desk and digest it.